This claims to be the world's greatest bench. It has an adjustment so I can go all the way from 80 degrees down to 0 degrees using bicycling cable. It also includes sidearm pads that are fully articulating so I can use them for preacher curls and other movements. It also has a full-on chest press machine attachment for things like incline press, flat press, and even military press. It even has a chest fly attachment. I'm not even kidding. The question is, not does it do a lot, but do the attachments actually feel good? Is it actually nice to use and put all these on? How does it compare to competitors that are standalone units or other bench ecosystems? Those are the questions I plan to answer today. This is my Wide Body Bench 2.0 review. Let's get into it. This is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews, and this is touted as literally the world's greatest bench. They say this on their website, so I'm going to review it in relation to the claims that they make. I'm going to give a full breakdown of this bench, what I think of it, the attachments after using them, and I'm also going to compare this bench to other bench ecosystems that are out there. Now, this is the second version of the wide body bench. The original version had the arm pads that were used only for being able to do a floor press on a bench. That was kind of the idea. He then decided, hey, we've got this great bench platform. Let's add and update it so it can have attachments. And that's what we have here. Now, the bench itself, I want to be clear, is incredibly high quality. Much more than I expected. First is the incredibly unique adjustment mechanism that this is the first time I've ever seen this on an adjustable bench. So most adjustable benches either have a pop pin or a ladder system. Pop pins are better than ladder systems because they lock in. But this is kind of the best of both worlds, because you can adjust it up and down with one hand very quickly, like you can a ladder system, but it locks in with pins. That's what this little guy right here is for. This is a lever, so when you go to adjust it up, just like you would take the top of a bench pad, you simply reach a little bit lower, pull this lever, suddenly it unlocks the pins, and then it adjusts up. If you notice, it is extremely smooth and quiet in adjustment. The way that they're routing these is with bicycle cabling, like you would find on bicycle brakes. Basically, there's a steel cable that runs all the way through here to a pin that when you pull this up, you can see that actuating system there. It then pulls both sides of these steel cables, so then it releases the pin. I love the engineering on this. It is not only really quick and easy to use, but also it locks in, it's quiet, it's out of the way. I mean, this is like an engineer's dream. It is amazing. Now, one reason that they're doing it in this way is because they need dual supports. Most benches have a single column for support. This is designed to hold a lot of weight, both from really heavy power lifters like it was designed for originally, but also the weight of the attachments and then the weight of the plates that you put on the attachment. So it's like, it's gotta be heavy duty and stable. And it's not like he just made it with like cool engineering. It's actually really high quality. They're using chrome tubing, and then the actual mechanism off the back has these massive bearings, which are probably similar to what they use on their attachments. The powder coat that's on this is pretty nice. Usually when it's like a Gen 1, and I get it's a 2.0, but it's an earlier product, they don't have a lot of experience. I'm like, the quality's probably not gonna be that great. The quality on this is much better than expected. For instance, the vinyl. So this bench pad, they worked with a power lifter. I'm pretty sure he's the bench press world record holder, Julius Maddox, to come up with the perfect design back pad for benching. And so it is a wider pad than you would see on most adjustable benches. The foam that's used in here is incredibly dense, but not so much so that it's uncomfortable. The foam that's used in here is like the perfect foam, in my opinion, for a bench. It's fantastic. Then the vinyl they're using on top is, I'm just gonna say it, it's pretty much the exact same, if not the exact same as the Rep Fitness Clean Grip vinyl, which is some of the best vinyl that's on any adjustable bench right now. It grips really well, it cleans easily, it lasts a long time. It's just a really nice bench vinyl. They're using that both on the back pad and the seat pad. If you notice, the back pad also has a unique angle. It's not just a square, it like juts out so you have more stability off the back, and then it kind of tapers in kind of like a coffin, which is a unique design. The seat pad itself adjusts with a pop pin too, so you can go all the way here. The back pad goes from flat all the way to 80 degrees. One of the things that's kind of disappointing about this is it has no decline feature. It doesn't have the ability for a tube off the front, which I'll mention that more here in a little bit. It's a tripod design, so it has the stability foot plate. It's a small plate, flat, and then juts out, so you have nice stability, and then a chrome knurled handle off the front, which, why would you not add knurling? This bench you can then stand up, and it has a back plate off the front, so it can stand there to get out of the way, and then when you want to use it, you fold it down. Now the back cross member is wide. It's wider than what you'd find with most benches. And the reason for that is when you're using attachments, you're gonna have less stability on here, more movement than what you would find with most benches. So they made it wider so it would be more stable, which I think is a good idea. Okay, there's the bench. The bench by itself, if you just want a really heavy duty, well-made, unique engineering bench, this thing is incredible. But I don't really think people are buying this bench just because of the bench. People would buy this bench because of the attachments. And so that's what these rods right here are for. Now they sell this bench with these rods or without these rods. If you use dumbbells or barbells with this bench, they can sometimes get in the way a little bit. It depends on the movement you're doing. You just kind of have to be aware that they're there. But for the attachments, they also made the ability to attach it to a rack if you wanted the attachments and wanted to use a separate bench. More on that here in a moment. But let me go ahead and put on the first attachment and show you what it does and what I think about it. The first attachment are these side pads. Now these side pads are based on their first design, so you could use the bench to simulate floor press without laying on the floor. They attach on these rods, and they use, actually I'll show this right here, they use just very nice needle bearings all throughout the system there. So actually all the attachments have that, and they use that so it can rotate up and down and side to side. So this goes on here, locks in, and this then allows you to adjust this multiple ways. So you can adjust this all the way to there, which I don't know what kind of movement you'd want to use it for in that orientation, all the way to there. So there's all sorts of different combinations you could use for this, depending on what you want to do. The one I found I like most is really just right here. And then I can use this to simulate preacher curls with dumbbells. It feels really good. This pad also though, on the back, slides all the way out to the side, up here, and actually all the way up here. And it is using very high-end brass bushings. I mean, the quality on this thing, when I say it's better than I expect, it is really freaking good. I was not expecting this. I was just expecting kind of cool engineering, but they went above and beyond on the quality. It's actually really well done. Now, as far as versatility for this attachment, I'm sure there's a bunch of movements people will come up with for this, but to me, this is actually the least interesting attachment of all the ones that they make, even though it was their first one. Let me go ahead and show you what I think is the most interesting one. That is this guy. This is the chest press attachment, and using the same exact attachment mechanism as what's used on the side pads, it uses that as well. So this slides onto the rods, it then locks in like that, and then you turn this to tighten it on there. And you now have full adjustment all the way forward, actually all the way down to there, and then all the way back to here. And I certainly have things about these that I don't love, and I'll talk through those as critiques here in a moment. But let me put on the other one and kind of show you the movement and walk through how it feels. You are now in chest press mode. Now, this is in the flat bench orientation. To adjust the starting point for the arms, there's actually this stainless steel spotter arm right here. Again, to the quality, it's like, dang, it's really good. And it just auto lifts and then it locks in. And then when you want to bring it down, you just pull the pins. I find for most of my movements, I actually start at the bottom, and that's just because I want the max range of motion that I can get. Now you simply load them with plates. One thing to be aware of this is you've got all this weight outside here, and the weight is actually outside the back cross member. So if you put enough weight on there, it can tip. So similar to a barbell, what I would recommend is not putting more than a 45 on each side before switching to the other. That way it's evenly distributed for the movements. Then, just like any chest press machine, you lay down and you press. Now, one of the things that is annoying about this is the fact that you can't start the movement at the top. There's no pre-stretch lever. So very high-end chest press machines, you have a pre-stretch lever that you press with your leg so you can get it to the top of the movement and then you can focus in. This one, you have to start at the bottom of the movement unless you add in something, and I'll show you that right now. So these are a cork block. I'd recommend these if you have this because it does make the experience better. You can put these underneath here, and they kind of jam in there. Then when you lift off, they fall and you can start your movement. Just a small pro tip. Now you get in and you press. One thing you'll see, and one thing I noticed early on, is that this was not designed by somebody who never used a chest press machine. If you look at the guy who made this, he is a massive monster. The guy probably benches a house. He's obviously used a lot of chest press machines. That's why he created the original wide body bench. The nicest chest press machines always converge. This has a 6-inch total convergence over the life of the movement. And so it just feels really comfortable. The handles are pretty thick, so it like feels good in your grip for press. I like a thicker handle. They're not knurled, they're rubber, which I think is fine. It feels comfortable in hand. And they're wide enough where you can get close if you want to do a more close grip bench, or you can go out wide if you want to hit more of the pecs. Now I have 45 on here. One thing that I think you want to be aware of is kind of the movement of the entire system. If I go like crazy fast, it's not designed for like crazy fast movements. It's designed more for hypertrophy. So traditionally, the way that you would use this is more slower movements and controlled up and down. And so in that movement profile, it actually feels pretty good. The other thing is the resistance profile is heaviest at the bottom of the movement and lightest as you get up, and it's adjustable due to the arc plate on the bottom. So it's really well done. Okay, let me show you incline. Now they recommend taking the plates off, but I think it's worth showing you. Can you do it if it's got this weight on? Can you incline it? And yeah, it's not very hard. You just pull this lever again and then lift up, get it to where you want, 40 degrees. Now, very similar to the flat, you can press with a great stretch. The range of motion is okay. I would prefer if it went a little bit further back. I mean, if it just went a little bit more. The problem though, if it went a lot more back, is your elbow would probably start to hit this. They have all those things they have to work around. So I think this is a fine medium. I just wish it would go just a little bit back. Then, actually one of the movements that I really like on this is shoulder press. So you can lift this up and get it all the way to 80 degrees. Now, one thing you're noticing as I'm adjusting these, I'm pulling these pop pins. One of the things that is annoying about this is I always track all my movements and how I use the machine so that I don't have to think about it when I go to work out. I like to have a number system so I can write in my logbook, this is the number that I'm using for this attachment. Well, there's none of that on the arc plate, which is really annoying. Then for shoulder press, get in here at the 80 degrees, your arms, and press. Then if you want even more vertical of a press, you simply adjust this back. Again, same thing with this. I would like a little bit more range of motion. Okay, so where do I rank the press attachment? Amongst their attachments, definitely number one. But this next one is one that you never find in home gyms and I've been using quite a bit. This one is just really fun. You don't typically have a pec deck machine or a chest fly machine in a home gym. The way that most people do chest flies is just with dumbbells. But this is an attachment that you can now attach to your bench or the rack attach and use it for chest flies. And it feels really freaking good. The resistance profile is perfect. As you come here, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier in the stretch. And then as you come up, it tapers off. You get a really nice contraction at the top and then you just control it down. The ability to get different angles, both in the back pad as well as the arc plate, makes it really easy to get it exactly where you want it. So if you want to adjust how the weight's going, either upper chest or lower chest, whatever, you can just kind of adjust it here. And that's more lower chest. And man, it just feels amazing. There's some of these machines where if you haven't been to a commercial gym in a while and haven't used the equipment, you don't really realize what you're missing. And then you get a machine like this or an attachment like this, you're like, man, I freaking love that movement. How can I get that in a home gym? Well, this is one of the ways. Now, a couple other things to consider with this. One is the weight capacity of the arms is 150 pounds or 300 pounds total. It's fine for me, but if you're a really heavy lifter, you definitely could max out on this. The other thing that is an annoyance on this, and it's just due to the design, is the storage of these. So currently, the way that I'm storing them is I'm just putting them on this rack that I have extra space on right over here. This is not an ideal way to store them. They have a storage rack, but because of the way these are shaped and stuff, it still takes up a ton of space. But just so you're aware, if you're somebody that's buying this, you probably don't have a ton of space. That's why you're getting this versus standalone units. So then you have to figure out where you're gonna put these when they're not being used, and leaving them on the floor like I have right here, it's just not ideal. They just get in the way. So still trying to figure out a solution for that. Now, there is another attachment that I don't have, they sold out of it, and that is the bicep curl. It's an attachment that slides down here, has a handle, and you can use it for preacher curls. They were also using them for rows and different things like that. Here's how I would rank the attachments. Number one, I would definitely say the chest press attachment. I think that attachment is extremely versatile. A chest press machine is something you don't get in a lot of home gyms, and this allows you to have a chest press machine, an incline press machine, and a military press all from one attachment. And if you get the rack attached, which I'll talk about here in a moment, then you can also use it for Viking press too. Then the second ranking, the chest fly. I really like the chest fly. Not as versatile as the chest press, even though it's a similar price as the chest press, but once you do a chest fly, you're like, man, that just feels so freaking good. Then after that would be the side pads. The side pads are a nice addition, and if you're wanting to do a lot of benching, let's say you're a competition powerlifter or something of that nature, these are very well done. I just don't find them as versatile for my style of training as I do the others, but I do like them for things like curls. Then lastly, and I haven't used that one yet, but would probably be the bicep curl, just because I'm not sure how much I would use it, and I really like using dumbbells for bicep curls. Now the questions I think I'm gonna get the most are these. Should I just get the standalone bench? Should I get the bench with the attachments? Or should I just get the attachments and the rack attach? This is the rack attach, and this goes on any standard 1-inch hole, 3x3 upright, just like there, and then you put a pop pin in. They also make a sliding mount attachment. Now, me personally, I wish I would have got the sliding mount attachment. I wasn't sure how much I would use this, so I was thinking I was gonna take this on and off all the time. But honestly, after using the attachments, I'm gonna keep them in my gym. I really like them. So I want a permanent place on an upright so I can go up and down really quickly and a lot, because I will use these for chest press, but I'll also use them for Viking press, which is a movement I love on shoulder day. So this is an attachment that comes off and on really quickly. For everybody watching, if you're trying to decide which one to get, the one I would say, although I really like the bench and the bench is incredible quality, I don't think you need to buy another bench. Use the bench you've already got, get the rack attached, and then get the attachments. And I would say most people could just get the chest press attachment. You've got 3 or more different movements that you can use with it. Suddenly you have a machine in your gym that's very high quality, that's using the rack you've already got and the bench you've already got, and works really well. I like the quality, and so I understand the price. I don't think it's overpriced for the quality you get, but I think for a lot of home gym owners, it's just gonna be too much. It's over $2 grand for the entire bundle. So as much as I like the bench, I love the attachments. And the attachments are what I'd really recommend with the rack attach. Now, if you're needing a new bench anyways, and you're like, well, should I get the bench with the attachments on it? Or I really want the bench, should I get the bench and the rack attach? I would say just get the bench without the rods on the side and then get the attachment. The reason being, having to take the attachments on and off when you want to just use the bench for regular work and having those rods always there in the way is really annoying. And that's one of my biggest critiques actually, is that on the bench and on the rack attach, these rods are always in the way, which they kind of have to be for strength. But the real problem, let me take you over here, is that because they're using high-end needle bearings, and you don't want needle bearings to just be dry so they can move fluidly and last a long time, there's lots and lots of lube on the rod at all times. So I've noticed anytime I use this, taking it off, putting it on, using it, it's like I'm constantly getting this stuff on my skin and I don't like it. I've thought about just wiping it clean, but I'm like, I'm sure they put that much in there because they want it to rotate smoothly, and I would rather it last longer than have to really worry about the lube on me. So right now I'm just getting used to the lube. So there's my review. That's what I think of the bench. If you'd like to see it in comparison to any other ecosystems, let me know in the comments and I'll get to it. This has been Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. I'll see you next time. Peace.